Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And today I have a special and maybe a little hard for some topic about toxic work environment. I think this is one that needs to be spoken on, and a topic that needs to be discussed, because a lot of people nowadays and for a long time have been dealing with this. And I just want to, just speak on it myself, because I've dealt with it. So, if you ever felt like fear going into work, anxiety, depression going into work, or outside of work, and maybe a knot in your stomach, it's not because of the workload, but actual management or the people there, this is your video. So stay tuned and watch. If you're new here, thank you for joining. Subscribe, like, and comment. If you are already a subscriber, thank you for continuing to watch my videos. And hit like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend, because I'm going to keep them coming, okay? So, yeah, I'm just sharing what it's like to work in a toxic work environment. I'm pretty sure you have. Talking about the signs, how to protect your peace, and how to take your power back, basically, okay? So I'm only going to ask a few questions. I'm going to answer a few questions. And if you have questions, put them down in the comment. If you have something that you want to discuss or a story you want to share with me. And I would like it. So thank you. So let's get into these questions, okay, guys? All right, so let's get into these questions, guys, okay? Let's see. Question number 1. What exactly is a toxic work environment? A toxic work environment is where there is negativity, fear, manipulation, or a dysfunctional, dominant culture. Management, same. It can include poor leadership, lack of boundaries, gossip, favoritism, micromanagement, or constant stress. It's not just a bad day. It's a pattern that drains people mentally, emotionally, and sometimes physically, even spiritually. Number 2, what are the signs that your workplace might be toxic? So these are red flags. Common signs include high turnover, which is everyone keeps quitting. And if you ever start a job and they hire you on the spot, red flag. Lack of trust between employees and management. Passive aggressive communication. Fear of speaking up because you're scared you might get retaliation. Overwork without recognition. You're doing all this hard work and they just complaining, or you're doing this hard work and you don't get a thank you. Good job, keep it up. Equal treatment or favoritism. If you dealing with favoritism, which a lot of people do in jobs, you're doing all the work, or you're the reliable one, and then they have one that lacks and doesn't show up or calls out, and yet they're getting, the time off request or pay raise. That's favoritism. If you constantly feel anxious, unsupported, or disrespected, those are red flags, okay? Can a toxic workplace affect your health? Absolutely. Toxic environments can lead to burnout, anxiety, depression, sleep issues, or even physical illness, because stress hormones go into overdrive when you're constantly in survival mode. So yeah, like if you're happy outside of work, and then as soon as you know it's time to start getting ready for work, and you start having a panic attack, or you pull up to the parking lot and you're having a panic attack, you can't breathe, you're sweating, you're immediately annoyed, you feel like a dark cloud is over you, that means it's time to leave. It's time to go. Why do people stay in toxic jobs? I know for older people, a lot of older people stay because they fear that because of their age, they're not going to get another job. No one will want to hire them. Losing the income they have, they may not get paid the same amounts. Being judged for leaving. So, and then some people normalize toxicity over time, especially if they've experienced it before. So be careful with that. It's not normal for you to get, for management to talk to you any kind of way. That's not normal. Just because they're a manager or your supervisor or your boss, they still can talk to you with respect. They can be direct, but also make sure they add their respect, okay? What should you do if you're stuck in a toxic work environment? First of all, it says stuck, so you're never stuck, okay? Don't believe that. You're never stuck. You can leave. There's other jobs out here. God will make a way. So just while you're there, protect your peace and protect your mental state. Don't let anything that's going on at a job come home with you. Leave your job at your job. Look for support from HR or trusted colleagues, but let's be real. HR is there to look out for the company, okay? Start making an exit plan, like update your resume, look for jobs, go through temp agencies, start volunteering, because you never know who another person might know, you know what I'm saying? So it's better if you just start doing those things. Pray. Listen, before you pull up, you should be praying first thing in the morning, but before you pull up, pray, and pray. Read the scripture, listen to some word, throw on some Sarah Jakes, some Pastor Henderson, Pastor Stephen Furtick, whoever you listen to, your gospel, put it on, okay? Let's see. I can give a quick story. I worked at a restaurant that was very toxic. I'm not gonna lie, I can say it. It was the WH. Y'all know who that is. I worked for them, and the store I was at, it started off great with the manager I was with. But when she left, a new one came on, and he was cool at first. He was young, but eventually he started to allow people to run over him, take advantage of him, do anything they want, and then wasn't showing appreciation to the ones who were actually doing the jobs and who was, doing what they were supposed to be doing. And eventually, you get tired of that. And I lost all respect for him. And once I lose respect for you, that's it. And I'm very respectful. I'm very nice. But it got to the point, I got so fed up and I hated that place so much. I could be happy, but as soon as I get there or as soon as I know it's time to go to work, it was like a dark cloud was over me. That's how I knew it was time to leave. Because I was angry. I was depressed. I was sad. I was cussing people out. And I ain't gonna lie, I even cussed my manager out. Like, pissed me off. I didn't care that you was my manager because I lost all respect for you. You gotta respect me in order to get respect. And I didn't like that. I didn't like the person I was. I was so angry there when I was there. So I had to leave. Because I was allowing them to disturb my peace. And I can't have that. Some toxic traits from management that I think a lot of people need to improve on is their communication. A lot of these managers have these positions, but they do not need to be a manager. They don't know how to be a manager. They don't know how to communicate effectively. They don't know how to work as a team. They don't know how to lead. They don't know how to show empathy. Another story something I've seen and witnessed, and I don't understand and I've seen it recently and don't understand how this person is a manager, but you have a manager that will intentionally antagonize their employees, like want to see them get angry. And I'm like, how are you a manager? Like, why are you a manager? I don't understand. And then you have employees that dread working with them. You call and talk to the manager, his boss, nothing happens. You call HR, nothing happens. So at this point, what do? You leave, because clearly nothing is going to change. Let me see. I've witnessed a manager be jealous of an employee, which is crazy. But yeah, your manager making more money, was educated, college educated, and the employee was going back to school and, making a little less money, and they were happy though. So I guess that, their good spirit was making their demon, their bad spirit, upset. And I was like, you had no reason to be jealous or angry with this employee, because they did nothing to you. They came to work, do their job, and they would go home. So, it's stuff like that makes a place hard to stay with. And also when you have managers that, I don't want to say too soft, because it's cool to be, how should I say this? It's okay to be nice. Of course, you should be nice, okay? Everybody should be nice. Be nice to your employees. Be cool with them. But keep that balance of, hey, I'm your boss. With certain lines we don't cross. But when you are like scared to speak up, you're scared to say something, or you're afraid you're gonna like make them mad, you probably shouldn't be in that position. There's something you probably need to work on before you decide to become a manager, because you're gonna have tough decisions to make with employees. You're gonna make them mad. They're gonna make you mad. And you gotta learn to tell them, hey, this can't happen again. No, I'm gonna have to write you up, explain to them why. And if you a little timid, then that's not gonna work. It ain't. So yeah, I just want to do something short about the toxic work environments. Now I'm not gonna lie, I haven't dealt with racism in a work environment, but one place I worked, it was some racists. I ain't gonna lie, it was KKK. They wrote the N-word on the back of the store, and it was like F-U N-word. Yeah. So that's the only thing I've dealt with. Anything else I haven't dealt with. If y'all have stories, let me know. But I haven't dealt with that, thank the Lord, because he ain't through working with me yet. I've had little stupid stuff with customers, but you can ignore them, overlook them, because it's whatever. It's customers. People gonna be people, So I would say stay encouraged if you are currently going through this. Pray, read your word, talk to someone that you trust and it's not gonna run their mouth. Do things that's gonna make you happy outside of work as well, and just try to be in a positive mood, and do not let anyone mess with your peace. Because at the end of the day, you still need a job, you still have bills to pay, so don't let them get you, and don't let them see that they're getting to you, because some people like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what I'm doing next week. If I go out of town, I might do another food video. We shall see. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys like it, subscribe, and comment. Like I said, write in the comments if you have any questions, if you want to tell your story, anything that you may be dealing with now or dealt with in the past. And yeah, see you next time.